Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the summary for the day of 448 for the 17th of May. Let's start off with breaking news. The Russian Defense Ministry claims. So this is funny. So the Ukrainian Defense Ministry claimed that they have shot down 6 KINZHAL hypersonic missiles. Then now we have the Russian Defense Ministry claiming that their KINZHAL strike has destroyed 5 launchers and 1 radar system. Basically, they wrote 5 launchers of US manufactured Patriot surface-to-air missile system and a multifunctional radar station. Also 6. I kind of have a feeling that the Russian Defense Ministry is just trolling. Like, yeah, 6 KINZHALs destroyed. 6 stuff on the ground destroyed. Yeah, you can decide what is the truth. I think they are just trolling. And over at the southern front in Crimea, we have a railway track sabotage and reported at Kristen K and or Kristen Koye in the Republic of Crimea or the Crimea Oblast. If you see them as part of Ukraine, and so the train was blown up. A 5-car was derailed, according to Ryba, the pro-Russian source, and the entire stretch of the railway line is currently suspended. And based on preliminary information or analysis, investigation says that it's a sabotage. Moving into the Kherson front, we have nothing at the Kherson front. Kherson, Kherson, at the Kherson front, nothing at the Kherson. The bread shop is not open. Over at the Zaporizhia line, we have information coming from Ryba, talking about all the reinforcement, the troops preparation, and it seems like Ryba says that based on rumors, the Zaporizhia offensive is going to be days to 1 week away, because everyone is ready. The strength is around 50 to 55,000 troops, and along that they have 16 planes, tactical assault planes, like maybe Sukhoi 25, and then they also say that there will be 6 Mi-8 helicopters over in the airbase around this region here, and you need to press the subscribe button. Press it, and then the Russian Defense Ministry reported that there is shelling at Novodanilivka, Malatomashka, Shavone, and Novosilka, as well as Velika Novosilka along the entire of Zaporizhia line. And this is where you need to also shell the like button, shell it, destroy it. And moving on, so that's all from the Zaporizhia line. Everything still seems to be calm, except that the Russians are shelling a lot more. Like usually we have like maybe 3 reports of shelling around this region, of 4. Now we have 5 or 6. So pretty intense. Into the Donetsk front, we have continued shelling as well. We have shelling reported at Shevchenko as well as at Pavlivka. And there is some updates regarding the front lines around this Donetsk front. Previously, the line is drawn something like this, but based on updated information, it seems like the front line have changed to like this, which means that sometime around a few weeks ago, that Ukrainian offensive had successfully pushed back the lines, and it does corroborate with this information that the Ukrainian forces had crossed the river and entrenched themselves south of the Shetanka River. Although we do not have any information about the capture of Novodonetsk. And moving on, we have continued fighting at Marinka as usual. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry talk about Marinka, but we have no information about the details of Marinka. And moving into the Adiyevka front in the northwestern part of Donetsk city, we have fighting reported at Pervomainsk. According to pro-Ukrainian source Deep State UA, the Russians attack with armor support, and after taking losses, they withdraw. So this Pervomainsk continues to be one hell of a headache for the Russians to capture. The entire line here is just full of trenches. And for those that are new to this channel, I just want to show you, it looks something like this at Pisky. There is trench line across the entire village, and basically you can't walk anywhere without getting sniped. So that's the information over at Avdiivka front. We do not have any push from the Russians going to Avdiivka, at Krutabalka from the south, from Opitne, Krasnohorivka, or Novobakhmutivka towards Oleksandropil, or Novokalinove. All these usual vector of attack from the Russians are not reported. So the entire front have went rather quiet, generally speaking. In the New York front continues to be quiet. People just go shopping over there. And over at the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, we first go to the Russian Defense Ministry reported shelling at Konstantinivka and Ivaniske. The Ukrainians have launched, they continued their massive Bakhmut, super duper uber Bakhmut offensive, and it has been super duper uber effective. After the Ukrainians having some kind of a success in this area, pushing all the way to the canal region, they have managed to capture the entire of this forest region here, and this push had forced the Russians to actually withdraw to a new line of defense. And this new line of defense currently is looks like this. This is the new line of defense. If you go nearer, you can see that it's mainly, according to the Russian side, it's mainly along this forest line here, and then another forest line here. So let's move up. Along. Oh, how come it changed to this color? Weird. To this line, and then follow all the way up. And then we have all this area here, and the Ukrainians probably have already captured this area here, and they are just looking at each other, you know, like blowing kisses. And then in the front line around here also seems to have changed a little bit. According to the information, the Russians say that they are holding this position. The Ukrainians say that they are holding this position. Surya maps has been a bit more aggressive. They say that the Ukrainians have captured all the way here, all the way this area here. That means this entire forest line here has been all taken by the Ukrainians, which makes them really close to Klishchiivka now. They are merely 1 kilometer away from Klishchiivka, or 1 kilometer away from this major entrenchment that was developed by the Ukrainians in the high ground region at Klishchiivka. So far, pro-Ukrainian sources have said that the Ukrainian forces have not reached Klishchiivka yet. The withdrawal is reported by Raiba. So Deep State UA also reported the fighting still going along the canal. They call it the Stucky track, and then the fighting south of Ivaniske has been reported by Russian Defense Ministry, saying that it's very difficult. Deep State UA also mentioned about it. And however, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry still says the Russians are on the offensive. And I just thought that is kind of stupid. And so the forces around this in the Bakhmut front for the Ukrainians is estimated by pro-Russian sources to be at 55,000. And interestingly, if you remember, it's actually the same number as the one at Zaporizhia line. So it does shows that these are all prepared offensive force. 55,000 is the force that they're going to do the offensive, it seems. And further up north, we also have the Ukrainians doing their super duper uber offensive at Bakhmut at Bodanivka. So, but this side on this side there is no breakthrough. The Russian lines here are more tighter. Moving into the city itself, we on the southwest part of Bakhmut city, the fighting is now ongoing over at the MiG monument, the MiG-17 monument, the plane monument over here, and there is some frontline changes. The Russians previously have this salient over here, and this entire salient has been defeated, have been retaken by the Ukrainian forces, as the Ukrainian forces have retook, and the front line actually now looks like this. But the Russians are now pushing back again, and to recapture this corner of the Bakhmut city. Over further up north, there is no updates regarding the fighting within the Citadel region. The current part of the Citadel region that the Ukrainians are still holding is the Domino sector. which is actually this part here. And there's only reports of fighting within the Domino sector, according to Remlin21, the pro-Russian source. Other than that, we don't really have anything, any progress for the Wagner forces that is attacking the Dominos region. However, the progress is actually over at this area here, with the Russian forces breaking through the Ukrainian last line of defense, and fighting has already reached Voyantseva Street, or even got past it. Information is coming from SITREP Maps, the neutral source, and they say that fighting is now ongoing at the Bakhmut Children Hospital. So, and this is actually going to threaten this resupply route coming from Chasivya into Bakhmut city, and it's going to be within half a day or a day's time for the Russian forces to actually close up the road, even this road as well, causing tremendous logistic problems for the Ukrainian forces as trying to hold the Bakhmut city itself. And that's all from the Bakhmut front. And moving on into Sivers, we have nothing much at the Sivers front except shelling at Krychorivka, which is relating to the fighting as part of the Crimea front. So Crimea is here. At Crimea front, we have, other than the shelling at Krychorivka, there's shelling reported at Dibrova, and there's also shelling reported at Nevsky, not Nevsky. Nevsky is actually at the Pervomaisky region. And so according to the Russian Defense Ministry, they say that the Ukrainians attacked 2 times with the support of 2 tanks against towards the direction of Shchevono-Popivka. So Shchevono-Popivka is here. This elusive village or town has been the target of the Ukrainian forces for a very long time. The Ukrainians are trying to attack, but it's really hard to capture this objective due to the number of forest line around this area here, and clearing all this forest line will take forever. And yeah, the Ukrainians did not succeed as per expected. And moving on into the Sviatove front. So this is Sviatove. At the Sviatove front, the Ukrainians also launched multiple probing attacks in this region here. And the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, Deep State UA said that the Russians are attacking at Kuzemivka. So and Andriivka, all this information is coming from the Russian Defense Ministry. So fighting is reported at Andriivka, Stemakivka, Novoselivsky, and Deep State UA said the fighting is at Kuzemivka, probably referring to Russian attack, the Ukrainians attacking in this way. So that's all from the Sviatove front. And moving into the Kupiansk front, at the Kupiansk front, there is also probing attack around the Timkovka region. Information also from the Russian Defense Ministry. The Russian Defense Ministry also reported shelling over in the northeastern part of Kupiansk at Petropavlivka, Vilshana, and as well as Nasyutivka. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry, Deep State UA reported the Russians attacking at Nasyutivka. So Nasyutivka has been previously reported as captured by the Russian forces, and they are currently still seemingly to be trying to push out and capture all these forests to line up the lines with the forces at Liman Pershi, so that they can have a shorter line of defense. And yeah, in the long term, I believe that they are trying to take over the entire forest region, even Sinkivka, so that they can actually have a strong defensive position in this area here. And it's time to press the like button, subscribe if you still haven't done it, and share this with everyone that you know. And for those that are watching on YouTube, you are watching the delayed telecast. The live, the most updated, latest information is published on Patreon, Locals, Boosty, as well as at coffee.com. And these are all for the DPA sergeants, officers, and generals, as this is classified information until it's not so classified. And generally speaking, I'm just being honest, yeah, the revenue helps, which is why they get something exclusive. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.